Rohingya refugee Rahila Begum is trying to get some rest, lying in silence on a thin mat in a shanty in Bangladesh. Wrapped in a blanket, she is plagued by a fever and aches, her body still recovering after spending 2 days adrift in the Andaman Sea earlier in April.
When the boat capsized, I grabbed a plank, which kept me afloat for 2 days. My energy was fading. The plank drifted away, leaving me alone in deep water. I prayed to Allah to save my life. My parents' blessings were with me. Then, by Allah's miracle, a ship came and rescued me.
Begum had hoped to flee to Malaysia, but instead became one of the few survivors of a sinking that left around 250 people feared dead. She is among thousands of Rohingya Muslims who set out on perilous sea journeys to escape desperate camp conditions in Bangladesh. They're in search of a better life in countries like Indonesia and Malaysia. Rohingya human trafficker Muhammad Faisal spoke to Reuters. He braved a perilous voyage of his own back in 2018 and says working for a migration gang was the only work he could get in Malaysia. But since the sinking, he has been lying low.
I am afraid none of my passengers survived. Even if someone did, they are probably in the custody of the authorities, maybe the Malaysian government. But I couldn't make any contact with them. I sent 20 clients on that boat.
Faisal said he had switched off his phone to avoid facing questions from anxious family members of missing passengers. Refugee life in Bangladesh is tough, with many denied the right to work, receiving only limited education and shrinking food aid. That's why Begum isn't giving up.
If I get an opportunity, I'll try again. Here in the camp, my husband is abusive and beats me regularly. I'm done with him and the hardships here. My heart is no longer in this place.
United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees spokesperson Astrid Castellane says gambling on migration is among negative coping mechanisms developed by refugees amid tough conditions.
The Rohingya refugee population is a very young and dynamic population and aspiring to a better life with hope, but we see that this hope is becoming more desperation, and that's why often youth and families decide to take the risky journey on the boat.
The UNHCR says more than 2,800 Rohingya attempted dangerous sea journeys between January and mid-April. In recent years, more than half of such migrants have typically been women and children. While she recovers, Begum is holding on to her dream.
If Allah saves me and takes me to Malaysia, I would like to meet a good man and get married. If not, I would stay with good people there. I dream of that day.